Good day children, Sai Ram and welcome back to our next session of this lesson. Now children, this lesson, industries, I had already started in the online section. Okay, now let's continue with the remaining part of the lesson, that is industries. In our online session we have learned there are three types of industries. Okay, which are the three types of industries we have learned? Small industry, medium industry and the third one is heavy industries. Now let's learn something else about industries. Let's talk about the industrial development. The establishment of industries and industrial development have an important role in the economic development of the country. Okay, so only I had told you previously also that the development of the country is dependent upon the development of the industries also. Not only the development of industries, development of agriculture also we have learned about it. Okay, same way as we develop the industries in our country, so also the economic development will take faster in our country. Okay, industrial development is essential for improving the standard of living of the people. Okay, because of the industrial development, what happens? The standard of living of the people also improves, because better job opportunities people start getting, then better commodities we get, better products we get in the market. Okay, because of which what happens? The standard of living also increases of the people. Okay, and the per capita income of the country is also, the per capita income of the country also increase, and the increasing the per capita income of the citizen. Okay, people start getting the income on a larger scale. Okay, the citizens of a country get employment. Just if more and more industries are set up in a particular country, the citizens of that country start getting employment on a larger scale, better opportunities they get, and their lifestyle also can improve because of the industrial development. So children, just see, because of industrial development, so much of a development can take place in a country. The per capita income of the country goes up and there is an increase in the export of finished product, that is increase in the foreign exchange reserve. Okay, now here the per capita income of the country is also increasing, as I told you, as the per capita income of the citizen is increasing, so also the per capita income of the country is going to increase, and just because of this more and more production is done and more finished products is we can say produced in the country. Okay, and which can be exported to the other countries. Okay, and just because of this more and more foreign exchange reserves can be formed in the country. Okay, that means we can get more and more of foreign exchange just because of the export that is taking place from our country. Okay, the government establishes industrial estates for this reason, for all these things, development what is taking place in the country. For that reason, what does the government do? The government establishes industrial estates for that. That means more and more industries are set up. Okay, we can say the government supports the industrial development. Okay, supports the industrial estates to boost industrial development. Okay, and increase the employment opportunities of a particular region. Okay children, I hope you all have understood what happens just because of the industrial development. Okay, just because of industrial development there are so many development taking place in a particular country. Hence all the countries, okay, just because of this industrial development, what happens? Many of the countries take special efforts to develop the industries. Okay, to enable this, even the industrial estates have been established. Okay, and from the government point of view, the government gives concession rates. Okay, concessional rates on for electricity, water, taxes to the industries, so that more and more industries come up and adds to the development of the country. Industries have an important role in the economic development of a country, as I have already explained to you about this. Now let's learn about something else over here. Just now many a times I told you about the industrial estate. Now let's see what is this MIDC. Maharashtra Industrial Development Corporation. Okay, from Maharashtra state, from the Maharashtra government, what type of support is given to the industries. Here we are going to see in this part, that is called as the MIDC. Now what is this MIDC? On 1st August 1962 in Maharashtra, the state government had established the Maharashtra Industrial Development Corporation, that is the MIDC, and through it set up many industries in every district of the state. Why these industries were set up in every district of the state? So that more and more job opportunities will be available to the people all over the state. Okay, through this the decentralization of industries is expected throughout the state. Okay, so what is the main aim of MIDC? The main aim of the MIDC is decentralization. Okay, here we cannot say a particular industry is there in a particular place, only the people in that place will get the job opportunities. No, for that reason the industries are scattered over a wide area in every district of the state. Okay, so that more and more job opportunities are made available. In addition, employment opportunities have been made available to local people. Okay, in these industrial estates, various facilities necessary for industries have been made available through MIDC. So this is the profit of MIDC, which is provided by the state of Maharashtra. There are many advantages. Now this industrial development which is taking place. Okay, as there are advantages, so also there are disadvantages. Firstly, we'll talk about the advantages of industrial development. As we have already learned in the previous part also, what happens just because of industrial development? More and more employment facilities people start getting. The youth of the state or the youth of the country, they get better job opportunities. Employment facility is more over them. And just because of this, the per capita income of the citizen is increasing, the per capita income of the country is increasing. Okay, so these are the we can say advantages. Then if agro-based industries are more in a particular place, okay, because of which agriculture development can take place. Okay, which leads to economic development also. If agriculture is developing, that means economic development also will be developing. Okay, the standard of living of the people also rise. Now, these are the various things we can say benefits. These are the various benefits of industrialization. Okay, you can see over here employment, development of agriculture takes place. Okay, stable prices of commodities, supply of labor, improvement in the standard of living, more marketplaces, cultural development, boost to urbanization, number of migrants are increasing, poverty is vanished, we can say. Okay, uninterrupted power supply, ample water, slums are, we can say, slums are not developed over here, the slums are removed over here. Okay, because of industrialization, because more and more people get job, the slums are going to be removed. Okay, at times what happened, due to industrialization, slums are formed over here. Now this is the drawback of industrialization. Okay, due to industrialization, more and more people gather towards that place and slums are developed, and this is not at all a advantage, this is a disadvantage. Okay, then increasing land prices, now this is also not an advantage. Okay, when the prices of the land is increasing, it will be problematic for the common people. Okay, so these are the various, we can say, factors which affect which are the advantages and disadvantages of industrialization. Now let's talk about the ITI, that is the information technology industry, which is also a biggest industry. Okay, as you all know, the youth of India, I had already told you all about this. The youths of India are skilled enough. Okay, we are having skilled youths in our country, India. Okay, important, you see this ITI, that is information technology industry, is an important engineering branch in today's world. Okay, it is an very much important engineering branch in today's world. Okay, now what is this ITI actually? ITI, in the ITI, work is carried out by computers. Okay, all the work is carried out by computers, because of which we need skilled workers. Okay, and now the skilled workers, okay, are more in our country, so this ITI flourish more in our country. In this industry, searching for technical information, obtaining, analyzing and compiling it, presenting it graphically and proving it as per requirement is the nature of the work in the ITI. So what work is done in the ITI? Gathering information, technical information, okay, obtaining, analyzing them and compiling them, putting it together and presenting it in a graphical way, okay, and providing it as per the requirement is the nature of the ITI. There is an increase in the use of computers and technology in this field of ITI. You can see the ITI over here. As you all know, children, in Thane itself we are having many ITIs. Okay, here you can see in the map of India. Okay, now here in this map what is shown? Information technology industries, where the software and hardware industries are there. You can see over here the different places, like over here, okay, which are the places you can see. In Maharashtra also we are having, okay, in Karnataka we are having, okay, then Hyderabad we can see over here, Visakhapatnam, Bhubaneswar, Coimbatore, okay, all these are the places which we are having the ITI centers. Okay, now next topic what we are going to learn is corporate social responsibility. Now it can be any industry. Okay, if an industry is earning a profit of more than 5 crore, okay, if a particular industry is earning a profit of more than 5 crores, then that industry should invest 2% of their share, 2% of their profit with the society. Okay, in what way? Okay, in what way? They can plant more and more trees around the place. Okay, they can provide money to the education sector. Okay, they can provide we can say a particular goal is given to the company, to the industry, okay, to develop the roads in that particular place. Okay, so all these are the social responsibilities, like the sincerity should be there. Okay, market should be good enough, responsibility is given, resources are used in a we can say a responsible way. Okay, so these are the social responsibilities. So let's learn about this. What is this? Corporate social responsibility, or the CSR. When an industrialist or group of industries work for the betterment of society and for the conservation of environment, it is known as corporate social responsibility. If the profit is over 5 crores, industries are expected to spend at least 2% of their profit on acts benefiting the society. As I have already told you about this, so this is only called as CSR. Okay, now the CSR can contribute in the way by providing educational facilities. Okay, the provision of facilities related to health can be given by them. Okay, the development of a particular village or a region can be done. Okay, then establishing centers for people, like environmental development centers. Okay, so these are the types of works an industry can do from their profit. Okay, so this is only called as CSR. Now here we can see a do you know part. We'll just have a look at it, that what is industrialization and environment, what relationship industrialization and environment have to establish. Manufacturing includes processing of raw materials in order to obtain the finished product. Okay, during the manufacture of the products, some harmful residual materials and pollutants are also left behind. As a result, there is a pollution of air, water, noise and land. This type of pollution is termed as industrial pollution. Okay, these are the drawbacks of industries. Industrial pollution, the resultant environment and the problems related to it are being seriously discussed at an international level. While deciding the location of industries along with the traditional factors, serious thought is being given to the environmental issues. Okay, to control the pollution caused by the industries, proper disposal of sewage and harmful residual and proper treatment of the pollutants should be done. Okay, fuel saving vehicles and other equipment must be manufactured. Pollution control, preservation of natural resources, environmental management, etc. are factors which must be taken into account. In India, in order to check industrial pollution, many laws and regulations have been formed, both at the national and the state level. Example, the Water and the Air Pollution Control Act and the Conservation of Environment Act. The Central Pollution Control Board of India looks into prevention and control of pollution. In this context, and any contravention of these laws would mean that the management of the factory would be held responsible and would be liable for punishment. Okay, so this is how the relationship between industry and environment is told over here, and which are the laws related to it. Okay, then water literacy and the need of water literacy, the need of the hour. Okay, this is a short paragraph why water literacy is need of the hour. Water is a basic necessity in human life, as you all know. Okay, due to increasing population, changing climatic condition, irregular rainfall, okay, etc. Many countries in recent times are facing problems of acute water shortage. Okay, you all must be knowing, even in India, we had faced such type of droughts. Okay, in 1 year we hardly had any rainfall. Okay, and because of which the full year we faced the water shortage problem. India also will be facing a problem of acute water shortage in the near future. This has come to light through a survey of water industries. India is a country blessed with ample natural resources. The rivers of India are rain-fed. It is essential to check this flow of water and use it judiciously. Small check dams, canals, recharging our underground reservoirs, reusing water, reducing water pollution, treating wastewater from industries and reusing them are all methods of proper water management. Okay, so water management is very much necessary. While using water for our personal needs, we need to take care not to waste water and to use minimum possible water. Even these small steps will help in overcoming the problem of water shortage. Public awareness on water management is the need of the hour. Okay, children? Okay, children. So that's all about this lesson. I hope you all have understood this lesson very nicely. Okay, children. Thank you.